There are certain knife debates that never really end, and this is one of the biggest ones in the entire survival gear community: Gerber StrongArm or Cold Steel SRK. Walk into any outdoor forum, scroll through any comment section under a knife review, and you will find people defending one of these two blades like their life genuinely depended on it once. And for some of them, it actually did. What makes this comparison so interesting is that neither knife is trying to be everything to everyone. Each one was engineered around a very specific philosophy, and understanding that philosophy is the real key to picking the right one for your situation. One of these knives was built to be an accessible, dependable workhorse that almost anyone could pick up and trust immediately, while the other was shaped by more than a decade of demanding rescue and military use, prioritizing raw field performance over convenience. Neither approach is wrong, and neither knife is simply the cheaper or more expensive version of the other. They're genuinely different tools wearing a similar tactical black finish. In the next few minutes, we're going to walk through both knives individually, focusing on what actually happens when you take them out of the box and put them to work, not just what the marketing copy promises. By the time we reach the end of this video, you will understand exactly which knife fits your hands, your budget, and the situations you actually plan to use it in, instead of just picking whichever one has more views on social media. Gerber StrongArm. There's a reason the Gerber StrongArm shows up in almost every beginner survival kit recommendation, and it has nothing to do with luck or clever marketing. It comes down to Gerber making a series of deliberate engineering choices that prioritize dependability over flash. The blade measures 4.8 inches, cut in a drop point profile that balances control during detail work with enough length to handle chopping tasks when needed, and it is forged from 420HC stainless steel. That steel choice tells you everything about what Gerber wanted this knife to be: a tool that survives neglect, humidity, and long periods without maintenance far better than higher carbon alternatives. Because corrosion resistance was clearly treated as a higher priority than chasing the absolute ceiling of edge retention. Anyone who has left a carbon steel blade in a damp sheath for a weekend knows exactly why that decision matters so much in real-world use, where gear does not always get the babying it receives in a controlled review setting. The full Tang construction runs uninterrupted from tip to pommel, giving the handle a rigid backbone that resists flexing under lateral pressure, which becomes critical the moment you start battening through dense wood or using the spine to batten a fire starter rod. Speaking of the pommel, Gerber shaped it specifically for striking tasks, whether that means driving a tent stake in a hard ground or breaking a car window during an emergency. And it holds up to repeated impact without deforming the way softer pommel designs sometimes do. Wrapped around that Tang sits a rubberized handle finished in a diamond texture pattern. And this is one of those details that sounds minor on paper, but becomes enormously important the first time your hands are slick with rain, sweat, or river water. Because a secure grip during a demanding task is often the difference between a clean cut and a serious injury. The influence of military survival training runs through nearly every part of this knife's design language, and that shows most clearly in the sheath system, which uses a MAL-compatible multi-mount setup that slides directly into tactical backpacks, plate carriers, and modular load-bearing vests without needing separate clips or adapters purchased afterward. This single feature has made the StrongArm a favorite among users who already run MAL base gear systems, since the knife simply becomes part of an existing setup rather than an awkward add-on. Perhaps the most compelling part of the StrongArm story is what happens when you look at independent destruction testing across major review channels and forums, where StrongArm units have consistently survived years of battening, prying, digging, and general field abuse that visibly damages knives priced 2 or 3 times higher. That kind of consistent real-world performance is exactly why it became one of Gerber's best-selling fixed blades of all time, and why so many outdoor instructors recommend it as a first serious knife rather than steering beginners toward flashier, more expensive options that ultimately deliver similar day-to-day performance. If your priority is a full Tang, American-made survival knife that punches dramatically above its price point, resists corrosion with almost no maintenance effort, and integrates cleanly into modern tactical gear setups, the StrongArm remains one of the smartest and most field-proven choices available anywhere near its price today. Cold Steel SRK. The Cold Steel SRK did not earn its reputation through a marketing campaign. It earned it through more than a decade of documented use inside military units, law enforcement agencies, and search and rescue teams who needed a knife that would never quit when a situation turned serious. The name itself, Survival Rescue Knife, was never meant as a catchy label. It describes exactly what this blade was engineered to do from the very beginning, and that mission shaped every design decision that followed. Physically, the SRK commits to a larger footprint than most knives in its category, featuring a 6-inch clip-point blade paired with a hollow grind that Cold Steel has continuously refined across years of ongoing production, creating a cutting edge that balances aggressive slicing performance with the structural strength required for sustained chopping work. The standard configuration ships in SK 5 high-carbon tool steel, a material respected throughout the knife community for taking an exceptionally sharp, aggressive edge that holds up to heavy battening and repeated wood processing significantly better than most stainless competitors in the same price bracket. That performance does come with a genuine trade-off. SK5 requires more consistent care to prevent surface rust compared to something like 420HC, particularly if the knife is used near salt water or stored in consistently humid conditions without proper drying and light oiling between uses. For users who want to push the ceiling even higher, Cold Steel also offers the SRK in CPM 3V, a premium powder metallurgy steel that dramatically increases both toughness and edge retention simultaneously, a combination that typically forces a compromise in most steels, allowing this version of the SRK to genuinely compete with boutique custom blades that often cost several times more without embarrassing itself in a direct comparison. Wrapping around the Tang is the deeply checkered Cray X handle, a grip material Cold Steel has trusted across more than a decade of production because it locks into your hand with real confidence, even under intense pressure, heavy sweat, or wet field conditions where lesser handle materials start to feel slippery and unreliable. The knife ships inside the secure X sheath, a rigid, form-fitted design that holds the blade with a dependable click and supports multiple carry configurations depending on how a user wants to mount it, whether that is on a belt, a pack strap, or a drop leg rig. What ultimately separates the SRK from countless other tactical knives crowding the market is the unmistakable sense that every dimension, every grind angle, and every material choice was shaped by people who had genuinely depended on this exact knife in high-stakes situations most of us will thankfully never encounter ourselves. And that lived experience is baked directly into the blade rather than bolted on as an afterthought for marketing purposes. Two completely different knives, built for two completely different priorities, and now you know exactly what each one delivers once you actually put it to work. The StrongArm rewards you with low-maintenance reliability and incredible value for the price, while the SRK rewards you with a longer blade, tougher premium steel options, and a legacy forged in real rescue and military service. So which one matches how you actually plan to use it? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want to see these two blades push through a real head-to-head destruction test, hit subscribe so you never miss it.